Hi there. So it has been a busy week, and firstly I will do an update regarding on the Softube CONSOLE 1 channel and fader. In a previous video I mentioned that it doesn't work properly with ProTools, so we will dive into that and see actually that it does. So I'll do a short update on that one, and you'll see what I mean with that and what you need to know when using the fader one in a HUI mode with Pro Tools. And then after that I will quickly look into just release Cubase 14 as well as Maschine 3 from Native Instruments, and they both say that they kind of bring in certain workflow improvements and things like that. So I will just kind of very quickly show some things that they have been bringing in, and then we'll dive deeper on those features going forward. So let's get going with Pro Tools and Console 1 first. So I had a chat with Softube support regarding on why I didn't see the fader, like the metering here in the fader unit, and luckily we were able to troubleshoot it, and thanks for the great help from Softube support. The main thing for that was that when you run the Softube fader in HUI mode, you can pretty much have a UCON enabled. So that's what I had, because I had used iPad as my UCON controller, but they don't work together. So you need to disable the UCON, and then once you have disabled, so see that this status is not LED or lid. So you will have a this will be a yellow when it is on, and when it is off it looks like this. So it needs to be off, and then when you have it off and then when you play, then you can actually see that now everything is reflecting similarly as you have in your digital audio workstation. So all that basically now then works okay. So that was the problem, and now the problem is solved thanks to Softube support. Okay, let's continue with Cubase 14. Alrighty, so Cubase 14 came out yesterday. A lot of things happened yesterday. So Cubase 14 came out, and there now you have several kind of workflow improvements, but one thing that I was extremely thrilled about is that you can now create key commands to open and close your insert. I have here the kind of a monochrome as an example for that one, to just show that how it actually works. But of course you could use Stream Deck or any other device that enables you to program these keys and do the shortcuts that you create in Cubase. What I'm thrilled about is exactly the fact that I can now program keyboard shortcuts to open my inserts in the selected channel. So now I'm in a Vox main, and if I open, I can see the first insert in it. With that one I get the second insert. If I switch the channel, same thing, first insert, second insert. So, and it works both on both areas. So like even if I'm in a mix window or mix console, I can do the same. So I can open the selected channels plugins with key commands, and of course you can program those in. So how you do that is basically you go to the edit, you go into the key commands, and then they have now added this event to be tracked, that insert 3 open close editor for selected track and channel. So what I have done is I have basically said that, you know, command option shift 3, and that would then basically open the third insert or editor. So if I want to now program it in, I can just go in here and open the creator, go into the third one and say that, you know, customize this to the keyboard, and then I want to have a number 3. Shift Option Command, and then just let's play with the colors and choose blue one. So I know that's the third one. So now if I go and insert something here into a for example LA3A as the third one, now I can basically go here into that channel and open and close it, and so I can open them all or then just close the ones that I don't need. This is a feature that I know is kind of also hidden in Logic Pro. In Pro Tools you can do the same thing. While using actually UCON control, you can't do it with key commands, but you can do it with UCON and with controllers. But in Logic Pro X and Cubase you can do it exactly like this. In Studio One you can actually do a bit of a kind of a workaround. In Ableton Live, no. I'm not sure about Bitwig, I need to check that out. But in general, this is actually, at least from my workflow point of view, and I think quite many are happy with this, a quite essential kind of thing to have, is that when you are going like between the mixer and your screen, you can basically then, you know, open, close the plugins easily so that you don't need to use mouse, and you win time. So at least from my eyes, this was actually one of the features that I was waiting for from Cubase 14, and it's here. It's great. I might actually consider doing more stuff now on Cubase than other DAWs. Yeah, so that's basically it. Then what came out as well? Let's dive into that. So yeah, Native Instrument also launched Maschine 3, which is, I guess, there is between the first launch of Maschine 2 and Maschine 3, there is 11 years. So what they have done mostly, I would say, of course they have added different type of features like stem separation and things like that. But what they have mainly focused is, of course, to kind of bring the UI and the workflow to basically this decade. Anyway, one thing that I always been like thinking of is that when I'm doing things here in Maschine, and as you can see most likely in the video as well, that the integration between, of course, the complete control and then the, you know, the Maschine is fluent because they products. However, one thing that I always been wondering is that if I change here to mixer, it doesn't change my view in the screen. So I actually need to physically from here, if I want to do the mixer, go and change it in the UI and see that, you know, how it is done. Then of course I can go from different areas and the UI will reflect to that. What do I select here? However, if I'm changing here the different views from a mixer to a arranger, it doesn't change that in the screen. Just might be my shortcomings, but I've been trying to find out how to kind of enable that type of a feature, but I haven't found one. So at least in my eyes, that would be meaningful, that, you know, the UI is following what I do in my device, but that's not the case here. Anyway, the new UI looks nice, and then of course all the features that come along, the improvements are also good ones. So there are several of these videos that, okay, Maschine 3 came out and what's new in there. So I propose that you check them out. But anyway, I just wanted to highlight kind of new things happening yesterday, like Cubase 14, then Maschine 3, and then I also got a new synth in my studio. so a lot of things going on. So I got basically a Yamaha DX7 S, which is the model version of the second edition of DX7. Been playing around with that one. We'll do more videos on things and workflow related things next week. So we'll do more videos about workflow and workflow improvements and how to make your workflow more fluent when creating music next week. So remember to subscribe for my channel, like my videos to keep my stuff going. And thanks for watching. See you next week.